Are you ready? We are here to talk about real estate, finance, entrepreneurship, motivation, investments, marketing, and health and wellness. All things needed for life, liberty, and the pursuit of stuff.
Hi everybody, Mickey Caccella. Welcome to Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Stuff. That's what this podcast is all about. But what it's really about is these two guys, my co-hosts and regular buddies now. I guess we're buddies. The owner of Victor Bravo, or one of the owners, I don't know how it works, is Alex Van Brooklyn. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good. And Michael Soper.
How you doing?
Victor Bravo. And guys, we're going to be doing this show once a week. We're going to have guests. We're going to talk about everything from life, liberty, and stuff. And the stuff I want to talk about today, guys, is what we do day in, day out, right now, real fast. Just give an introduction to everybody. We are in the real estate investment business here at Victor Bravo. Alex, why and how did you get into this in 1 minute?
1 minute. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Read it in late 90s, early 2000s. Wanted to get into real estate. Didn't know exactly what to do. Long story short, kind of started building up to where in 2016, opened the company up and realized that this is what I wanted to do. And I could have the greatest impact on the world around me through real estate, through single family real estate.
So right now you're about 6-7 years into it. Are you glad?
Oh my goodness, I'm ecstatic every day. Come to work with an amazing group of people. We get to impact people's lives in a positive way all the time on a regular basis. I couldn't be any more happy.
And we're going to talk all about eventually, everything from how you buy your first house. We'll do episodes on that. We'll do how you build a portfolio of homes. We'll cover everything. And a great person to help us do that is Michael Soper. Mike, what made you end up here? I know you started with construction as a younger guy. How'd you and Alex end up together and why we're all here now?
Yeah, so I grew up kicking shovels when I was a kid and didn't really like that much. Had a short stint in college. Came home and started a construction company where I was working for real estate investors. Working every day, these guys would pull up in these nice cars, hand me a check, and then go on their way. I'm like, what are they doing?
Right.
So I met a guy, Craig Fuhr, started asking questions, met some lenders, met some different real estate agents, and when I was 19, I bought my first house. Great project, took way too long, way over budget. And somewhere down the lines, a couple years after that, Alex and I crossed paths. We went golfing together, and then we realized we lived 2 minutes from each other. Wow. So, our friendship really started there, and it's been going on ever since.
I think it's awesome, and we'll get into more of the story between you two. It's an interesting story and very complimentary of each other's talents, how you two met up. But I want to go right to the source for a second. Alex, if you could, and I know you could talk about this all day, but let's try to do it in layman's terms. How does one, with really nothing, sitting home, always thought about investing, how do you get started? How does somebody become a real estate investor with nothing but a desire?
Educate yourself. Learn, read, find other people that are doing it. Take that knowledge and absolutely consume that knowledge. Then put it into action. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest part of it. You can consume knowledge all day long, and I see people doing this on a regular basis where they eat knowledge, and then they just sit back and say, oh, I've been to this class, I've been to this course, I know this and I know that. None of that matters until you take action. So consume the knowledge, take action, and you will see forward progress.
Interesting. Mike, and so when you got into this from the construction side of it, what was the biggest thing that you learned quickly that you had to pay attention to if you were going to be a real estate investor?
I got to get out and network. I need to know people.
Yeah.
The more people that know me, want to invest in me, the more people that know me can build my network to where they're throwing in properties, throwing in leads. The more people know me and the more I know people, the better I would be able to do in this business. And it all started out with networking, shaking hands, meeting people.
Obviously, in a business like this, there's no ceiling. I mean, you can make yourself worth $1 billion if you want to do this. When you look back, Alex, on the first 6 years of this, Financially, has this been more rewarding or less rewarding than you thought it would ever be for yourself? I'm not asking for details or specifics, just in general.
So for me, it's not just the financial part of it, because I'm still building that, and that's a long-term plan. This is not a get-rich-quick industry. This is not an industry where you could step in and become a millionaire overnight. This is not an industry, despite what people think, and programs that are sold, where I'm going to go out and start making $100,000 a month. This is an industry where you could build true wealth, long-standing legacy wealth.
Interesting. And Mike, same question.
100%, yeah. So it's, for me, it's more about what the money, I can use the money for. I use money as a vehicle.
Yeah.
You know, the more money that I have, the more people's lives that I can touch. You know, I remember I did a small little redevelopment project down in Baltimore City selling affordable homes that were just abandoned shells that the city of Baltimore owned. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have the money. And that money impacted those new homeowners' lives that are in that house. And I use money as a vehicle through real estate.
Excellent. Alex, what do you find to be the biggest upside since you've started, and what's been the most difficult or the biggest downside since you've started investing in real estate?
The biggest upside is the potential for cash flow, and then the benefits, all of the benefits that owning real estate bring to bear. So the tax benefits of it, and being able to provide housing for people, good quality housing for people, that's the greatest upside. And then the downside is it's not easy.
Right.
You know, a lot of people think it's easy. I'm going to get rich. I'm going to buy rental property. It's not easy. I mean, we're in here nonstop. You know, I had somebody say to me this weekend, you know, do you ever take a break? Sure. Yeah, I take a break. I'm going on a break. I'm going on a vacation this week.
Yeah.
But like, there's usually 80, 90, 100-hour weeks sometimes that
Right.
we're putting in, and that's it. So it's not easy.
Mike, what's been the biggest up for you, the biggest plus?
Well, the biggest plus is, even though I work pretty much every day, is the freedom that comes about it. You know, I love the fact that, you know, I will never be bound to a 9 to 5. You know, I
Right.
see something different every day. I speak to different people every day. It's a new project every week. So it's constant change. Nothing's ever truly the same.
And what's been the hardest thing?
For me, the hardest thing about real estate is the barrier to entry. I think the barrier to entry is very low, to where, you know, Alex was talking about earlier, all these different actors that are out there, you know, making it seem like it's an easy business, and you get in and you start wronging people, and it really tarnishes the name of real estate. Real estate is great for everybody. Everybody at some point in their life are involved in real estate, where they rent, they own, they finance, whatever. And with the barrier to entry to be so low, people out there are putting bad names on flippers, putting bad names on landlords, and it's making it harder and harder to do business when you do good business.
Yep.
So
Sounds great. All right, guys, let's take a quick look at Victor Bravo's newest commercial and really get an idea of what they do.
Hey, I'm Mike Soper with Victor Bravo.
And I'm Alex Van Brooklyn. If you're trying to sell your home in Maryland for any reason,
Victor Bravo is here to help.
Whether your house needs repairs, you're behind in payments, or you inherited a property.
Victor Bravo can help, and we can buy your house as is.
hey Mickey, we need a bottle.
If you have a problem, we have a solution.
If you have a problem, we have a solution.
Give us a call at 443-341-1000. That's 443-341-1000. All right, welcome back, everybody. Joining us right now on Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Stuff is a lady that does a lot of business with Victor Bravo, and somebody that has known Alex for quite some time. She is the owner of Capital Short Sale Group and Ravera Residential Home Group of Executive Home Realty. Did I say all that right?
Yeah.
It
yeah,
is
very
Rebecca
close.
Rivera. Thank you for joining us, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Alex and Mike both wanted our first guest to be somebody special. We had a meeting about this, Rebecca. I want you to know you were the absolute first choice for both
I'm
of them.
flattered. I love that.
That's the God's
Thank
honest
you.
truth. Yeah.
Well, like Alex called me one day and he's like, Becca, I got the best idea. And I'm like, all right, great. What's that? He's like, I'm going to throw an all boys poker night. And you're the first person I thought of. And I said, fantastic. He's like, do you know how to play poker? And I was like, absolutely. I have no idea how to play poker. I've never played poker in my life. But I'm going to figure it out.
You're
all
not
right?
scared,
I'm
are
going to
you?
go to this all boys poker night and I'm going to kick their ass.
Well, when I hear these guys talk about you, the words they use to describe are kick ass, take charge.
I'm sure there's a few more inappropriate ones.
No, I'll be honest. I mean, maybe in private with themselves, but never that I've heard. And The thing I found interesting when they told me what like you guys do together. Oh, I should full disclosure say, Rebecca, this isn't the first time that me, you, and Alex have done an interview together.
I think this is the third.
Third. Do you want to explain the first?
Yeah, so I
That's
think
up
the
to
first
you.
2 times were Jugs for Plugs.
Yes.
Do you know what that is, Mickey?
I think I do.
Okay.
I remember.
Did you come up with this though?
No comment.
All right, so
in today's society, let's just say, Rebecca, you have always been a good sport. Is that fair enough?
I've always played for the Skins.
Yeah.
You know?
And you've always been there to support my business endeavors and try to get them.
You are
I
so
appreciate
important
that.
to me, Alex. Whatever I can do to help.
All right, let's get serious though. Let's talk about your company. If I'm not mistaken, you do a lot with short sales, correct?
Absolutely.
Explain to somebody that's watching this because they think I'm a funny comedian and they turned it on and don't realize this is about real estate. What is a short sale for the average human being?
So a short sale is where, let's say, your mortgage is $100,000, but as is in its current position, the house is worth only about $80,000, and there's some sort of hardship in your life, whether you got divorced or you lost your job or even COVID. COVID is a huge hardship, where we go to the mortgage company and we ask them to take a discount of fair market value.
Now, so that's where, for instance, you do that. You negotiate with the bank. Do you do that? Do you negotiate with the bank?
With Capital Short Sale Group, we negotiate with the bank, correct?
And that's and then Victor Bravo would come in and maybe buy that house. Is that correct? Or you would, or how's it work?
So here's the situation, right? A lot of people don't know short sales are even an option. So when somebody is losing their American dream and losing their home and their life is in shambles, they tend to stick their head in the sand. They don't know how to get out of it. They just think foreclosure is their only option. By that time, I'm sure that they are getting 1 million phone calls from 1 million investors and 1 million just creditors, just everybody. And so what sets Victor Bravo aside is they're not trying to get rich or make money off of these people. They're actually trying to find a solution to help these people and to put them in a better place. So when they find somebody that's in this situation, they refer them over to us because we specialize in short sales, right? So these people also have somebody representing their best interest, making sure that they are protected and taken care of, which is just awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't cost them anything. A lot of times, the remaining balance on the loan, we can get waived. Of course, everything is contingent upon the mortgage company, and there's no guarantees. But, I mean, it's amazing that there's people out there that, a lot of real estate investors, they want to get in the house, rehab it, and get it sold.
Right.
And sometimes these things can take 4 to 6 months, and Alex and Mike are willing to hang in there and willing to help these homeowners, so that in 6 months, when we're able to find a resolution to their situation, they can come in and help them and just kind of help these people start over.
And it's interesting, as a guy been in this now 4 months, really just honestly starting to even understand the complexity of all of it. But Alex and Mike, I know you have said that Rebecca's great at what she does and she's easy to work with. Does that make situations all the more, you're all the more willing to help because it is an easy transition?
Absolutely, man. Not just for us, but for the seller.
Right.
Working with Becca, we have never had an issue with a seller complaining about her or her team. We've never had a seller saying that she was less than absolutely stellar service that she's provided. So for us to push a recommendation to it it's a no-brainer. And we might not even buy the property. There's a decent amount of properties that we'll send over that we're not going to be the buyer for. But she can help them out, get them through the short sale process, solve their problems, create a solution, and move forward.
Yeah.
And that's, we take pride in that. So.
Rebecca, do you find in what you do, you have to make decisions quickly and believe in them because that's your first instinct and that's what you're going with?
So with short sales, they're a little bit different. I'm a problem solver. So I look at a problem and I try to find a solution no matter what it is. And with short sales, you couldn't get a better problem to solve, and everyone is different. Every time I do a short sale, I encounter a whole new situation that I've never dealt with before. So it's definitely,
But do you think you can make decisions on the fly?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, here's a question.
So
Wait a minute, I have a question.
All right,
if you can do that. Who is uglier, me or Alex?
Alex.
Alex, my next question for you. How do you feel inside?
I feel great. I feel awesome. I feel amazing right now. That's quite all right.
Of course, we're all kidding and joking. Another thing, Rebecca, as I'm learning this business and I'm meeting people like yourself, one of the things I find to be interesting in this world, in the real estate world, is the people that have sort of gregarious personalities. That is not an insult, by the way. But these bigger than life personalities seem to be the people that are kind of rising in it and that are sort of the stars. I mean, Alex, obviously, if you know Alex, his personality's as big as the room.
I'm surprised
Mike,
he
same
can walk
way.
through a door.
Right.
Jeez.
Mike, I'm surprised he can walk through a door with that head.
I know.
The point I'm making here is I think the people that aren't afraid to be themselves and doing what they love goes a long way. And I think that goes into the relationship you guys have together.
Oh, absolutely.
Business-wise.
So, like Mike said earlier in the introduction, it's all about putting yourself out there and networking and being with people. Don't get me wrong. When I come home, I don't want to speak to anybody. Like, it actually kind of sucks because Alex will call me, right?
Right.
And every time I try to get off the phone, yeah, but real quick, what's going on with this property? And it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, man, the last thing I want to do is hear this New York accent while I'm trying to just hang out and watch Married at First Sight, right? But I do it anyway because I love it. But
I think Alex is perplexed over Married at First Sight.
Yeah, what is that?
oh my gosh, it's amazing.
What is
Two
it, for real?
people meet at the altar and then they get married.
Oh, that sounds like
first
a
sight.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a perfect recipe
You
for a
would've
fucking
known.
disaster. Are you kidding me? Like, how does that even work? How,
Maybe
Well,
do
they go
it.
through this
You
whole
have to
thing.
have a
They
mental
go through this
disability
whole
to
thing,
go in
man.
there and to try to do that. Like, why would you do that? That makes no sense.
I'll be honest
I
with
would
you.
thousands of
totally
dollars
do
that
it.
they pay you
These
to do it.
matchmakers.
Hold
I would
on.
totally do it. Are you kidding
You
me?
know, I got an idea for a TV show. So we can go out there and we can work with investors to buy a house at first sight with nothing, like no knowledge of the property. Let's just go invest in a property and buy a property without knowing anything about it.
Major timeout.
On
That's
TV,
brilliant.
They actually do that. all
No,
right?
they don't.
Flip that first
Well,
sight.
on TV, they're
Flip that
like,
first sight.
oh, we've seen these 3 houses. Which one do you want? And then the next scene, they're like having ice cream in a pizza shop, and they're like, we chose the Henderson house.
No, I'm talking about like you don't get to see numbers, nothing. It's just a matter of, hey, which one do you want? And then let me sell them some dog crap.
That would be beautiful.
No, that would be terrible.
No, it would be great for
participate
TV.
in that program.
How are we going to figure this one out?
Well, unfortunately, your cat's out the bag. So.
And we can always do a short sale.
There we go. There we go.
Done. No,
I love it.
What is the average length of a short sale? I come to you, Rebecca, I have a home, I'm upside down.
Well, I'm
I
not
don't
really-
know what to do.
Well, when it comes to the average length of a short sale, I'm really good at measuring like 8 inches at a time. So the length is usually about, 24 inches. I'm just kidding, like 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months. I liked your original explanation.
Yeah.
Anybody?
So I don't know so back to the other
You guys
question.
feeling warm?
By the way,
Yeah.
so about being
Does this
yourself,
desk raise
I
up
obviously
any?
have no filter in case anybody was wondering.
Yeah.
And that's really what makes it fun. Is because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we have a
We're all
good
friends.
time.
Of course, man.
It's a good time. And when we refer a client over to them, it's like, hey, you guys are totally going to be taken care of. You're going to be informed. Everybody's going to know everything at any time. But at the end of the day, you can call Becca and just have a conversation. She's
Right.
not a robot.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
and we're all friends.
And the greatest part about it that I think is you have that human perspective about it, and we can get as real. We can joke
Well, we
around
care.
all day long.
Of course.
But when it comes down to business, there is no one better. Because at the end of the day, you can joke around and make whatever jokes you want. I know that you're going to get your job done.
Oh, of
I know that you're
Of
going to be
course.
proficient and you're going to be competent. And I hope you feel the same way about us when we step into
absolutely.
a deal. Because to me, that is a critical part. Because if you're just joking around and you're just jaw jacking, that's great. That only goes so far.
Right.
You have to have the proficiency, and you do.
We have this amazing ebb and flow of how we work with each other, and it just works. Like
I think the thing too, not to cut you off, Rebecca, I'm sorry, but it's a big part of this element is when you have respect
I was just
for
gonna
each
say that.
other's work ethic and their expertise, you look out for them. And then, so for instance, Alex, you may be doing something with Rebecca and you go, oh, she didn't do this. You're not trying to exploit her. You're going to call her up, be like, hey, Rebecca, this got overlooked. We need to do that. And bang, it's going to get taken care of and out the door.
Oh, Alex and I have so much love for each other, friendship love.
Yeah.
That like we would do anything in the world for each other. He went from being an acquaintance and a landlord to just being one of my greatest friends. Like, I
Yeah.
can call Alex and talk to him about anything. And it's funny, in our conversation, it's like personal business, personal business, personal
Sure.
business. You know,
Intertwined, right?
I'm very confused by this. Let's put this out to the world then. So why is it, if we have this great relationship, or business and personal relationship, why is it that you had an office here and you left in the middle of the night? You were like, screw Victor Bravo, I'm out. You literally packed your stuff in the middle of the night and left.
So, I'm a lady, and I run my company in the Google method. Happy employees, happy company. You know, like, one day I sent Alicia to go get like a foot massage because I knew she was like kicking butt, taking names, and like had a really stressful week. You, Mr. Military Man, like to scream at people all the time, be a dictator, and then I put up a TV on the wall in my office because background noise helps me solve problems. God forbid the world's ending. So that's why I snuck out in the middle of the night.
I'm doing this right now on camera. I resign and I'm going to work for Rebecca. I absolutely quit. Screw this place.
I would like to clarify this. Mickey will be doing an unpaid internship. He will not be
1,000%.
getting paid to
I'll
come
take it.
work.
I'll take it, sweetheart. If I could turn the news on during the day and not get
Yes.
screamed at like I'm some sort of horrible infiltrator that is somehow committing treason in the Victor Bravo grand scheme of
See,
things.
what we believe
I'm not
here,
good with conflict, all right?
There's nothing good that comes out of putting the news on
you want-
all day long.
because at the end of the day, the purpose for 2 screens or 3 screens is that's 2 clients or 3 clients on each screen.
Listen,
You
you're
know?
both-
Is that what it
It's
is?
not-
Because
that's all-
Alicia uses
yeah.
her second screen to watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And I
not
couldn't figure that out.
Facebook and TV shows and the
No,
news
look
over
at
here.
this.
No
So
way.
my girls, they will work at 7 o'clock in the morning. They will work at 10 o'clock at night. They will work on the weekends because the way that I run the company is I don't care if you only work 3 hours a day. Here's what needs to get done.
See?
This is your job. And when you are finished your job, you leave.
Don't get
right?
no ideas.
But the thing is, like, the girls,
does
like,
not approve.
they take, the girls love the company so much. Like, they feel and they take ownership interest. Like, man, my girls, I can't even tell you how lucky I am. They are the most incredible people. They're really the ones that make the magic happen behind your short sales. I'm just the one that makes the jokes.
I will say that we are a little sick in the head to where we'll work, 10, 12 hours here, leave, and then the minute I'm walking through my door, he'll give me a call. We'll talk about something, hang up. I try to eat one bite of dinner, get another call. Oh, golden idea. What do you think about this right now? Are you doing anything? No, absolutely not. Hey, Jade, hold on one second. Oh, that's a terrific idea. Let's do that tomorrow.
Well, it's funny. When I go
you never
back,
stop.
I would like to say something on this show because it's important, and I think it's a big misunderstanding amongst people who work hard and people who work smart.
Yeah.
I'm of the belief that you work smarter, not harder, and
Right.
I do think that personal joy allows you to work smarter. And Alex and Mike, it's unbelievable watching your work ethic and your commitment. And Rebecca, I know that you're trying to make it sound light and you're fun,
No, I work
but
my
I know
butt
you
off.
work your ass off too.
Absolutely.
I am in the office by like 7 o'clock every morning.
Right.
And then I come home and then I have my computer out and I'm sitting in my kitchen. Like I may stand up and do dishes or laundry or this or that, but like I don't
women
stop.
still do that? I didn't think women did that. I
I
thought
ain't
men.
no man. All
I
right.
thought men only did that anymore.
No, I handle
the dishes
everything.
and stuff. Alex does all the dishes.
We are not getting into that conversation live or off screen or anything else. That's just not a conversation we're going to have today, folks.
It's so weird. So I'm like old school. Like I really like the 50s. You have dinner on the table for your
God.
husband, but then I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna make.
Hey, Sean, give me that engagement ring I've had on standby.
10 carrots.
I think we need to be careful what you're saying because
I'm
I really
Jewish.
like the 50s. There was some bad stuff that went down
Well,
in the 50s.
if we were
I'm just
beaten
saying,
and we
man.
couldn't vote or drive, or is that true? Did that
You
all
could
happen
vote in the 50s. I'll help you out. You could drive in the 50s as well.
Sorry,
What you
guys.
couldn't do was state how you feel. That's what you couldn't do. And the country is better
Now we all
for it
state
now that
how
you
we
do.
feel. Now
Yes.
everybody's feelings are out there
Right.
all the time.
Rebecca, I think we get what you're saying, and I'm proud of you for saying it. As a guy, like I said, I'm in this 4 months. I come from an entertainment background. But one philosophy, whether it's entertainment, whether it's real estate, whether it's car sales, no matter what it is that I firmly believe in whatever you're doing, if you don't have fun doing it, you're going to be terrible at it.
Oh, yeah.
Not only are you going to be terrible at it, you're going to be terrible for the others around you that do it and for the people you're trying to serve. You're hurting your own industry. So when I hear Mike on the phone with someone who starts out with I'm not doing that, and I don't want to give away secrets, but I've literally heard Mike talk.
How they turn.
A man or a lady, it doesn't matter, from an absolute hard no
To absolutely.
to when do we settle in one phone call. It's staggering. But that, Mike and Alex, and I would imagine the same for you, Rebecca, comes from your sheer love. And I know it's not the money with you guys. Every time you hang up, I hear, this lady, she's going to love me. I just helped this lady, or I just helped this family. Yep. At first, I thought it was a load. I thought you guys were full of crap. When I first started, I literally was like, okay, great sales line, guys. We care about the customer real. And then the more I'm in here, I'm like, that's actually true with them.
It's weird. Like, they're actually nice people.
It's really bizarre to see someone put personal desire over money. Because honestly, and this is what I've learned here in 4 months, if you do it that way, you make more money.
100%.
It's unreal. But to see it firsthand is
Because
what's
they're not
awesome.
chasing
Some
the money.
people might look at it and be like, oh, that's very selfish of you to do. That's
Right.
self-centered of you to do. Absolutely. I want this business to thrive. I want to make as much money as we can in this business. But this is a concept I learned. I forget exactly who. And I want to be able to help as many people. It doesn't have to be or.
Right.
It can be that and concept, and that is not having a scarcity mindset.
Well, I think
that's having
the
an
only
abundance mindset.
agreed, but I think the only way the end concept works is if you put their best interest first.
100%. You have to.
The money will always follow.
That's right. Because
Yeah.
once you do that, like we do deals, we do transactions, we'll walk away with it. We will look at each other like, that was a lot of energy that went into that.
Right.
That was a lot of time that went away. We only made like $2,000.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay because there are some deals that we don't put that much time and energy into. We still are able to help somebody and we
Exactly.
make a lot more money.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to is being able to provide a solution, and we still have to turn a profit. Like profit
Yeah.
is not a four-letter word. Profit is a good thing. Profit is the lifeblood of any company. It doesn't matter what the company is. It doesn't matter if it's a non-profit.
Right.
You still have to have those profits in there in order to move that business forward, be able to continue to help people. You have to
Think
do
about it
it.
this way: you're employing all of these people.
100%.
If you weren't making a profit, you know, all of these other people that you have created these amazing lifestyles for and changed their world, they wouldn't be working for you. So somebody once told me that like somebody with Bill Gates' money can help a lot more people than giving a homeless person $1, and it's totally true.
Absolutely.
It's our first show with a guest. And not only that, I think the thing I really was glad, Rebecca, that it was you first, was because I really do think it's important to paint the picture of how much fun and how much of a community you really can be a part of in this industry, which up until a couple months ago, I never realized. I thought everybody had their little office. They went in and they fought over deals like it was territory. And in some aspects,
There
that's
is still
true.
some of that.
It's
Yeah.
business. However, you build a network of other people that are in the same business, accomplishing the same things. You all help each other. Rebecca, you were an awesome first guest.
Thank you.
And I will give you, this is very rare for me, I'm going to give you the last word here if you would like to say anything before I say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah,
no one can say
absolutely.
anything after you say this
Yeah.
but me
Yeah,
say goodbye.
nobody. Oh
Deal
my
with it.
God.
Deal with
So
it.
inappropriate.
Deal with it.
Oh, my
This
goodness.
is what you do for
This-
guests.
You know this can be bad though,
You
right?
know I
Yes.
have
you
no
know,
But I got it.
There's a can of worms opening up right now.
No.
Like,
I trust her.
I don't know, man.
He trusts
I don't
me.
know. I trust her
All right.
too, but the last words coming out of her mouth might not go off
Hey.
the way you're planning, man.
And she
just
could
saying.
shock you.
Oh my gosh,
Rebecca.
see, now there's such a build-up. I feel like I have to say
Every
something
time I get her
No,
on
inappropriate.
the
do not.
phone,
Oh
she
my
shocks me.
gosh.
No, Rebecca, I want you to do what honestly is in your heart right now, because that's what this show is. It's
roll.
honest,
Drum roll.
truthful, and the.
I feel like we
And-
should do a quick jugs for plugs. too.
No.
Jeez.
Turn
Oh
the
my
cameras
gosh.
off. We'll be right
And
back. No.
Cut.
Nope.
Rebecca, please, your final thoughts on the show and what you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me here. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate working with you. And, you know, communication is so important, and you guys communicate with the clients and us, and everything is just so easy with you. So thank you so much for working with me and having so much faith, and thank you for always just having my back. Like, you guys are just honestly amazing friends. I love you to death. Mike, I was at your wedding. Alex.
Yes, you were.
I know, it's all right. It's all right. You can keep crying. It's okay.
You'll be at my next wedding, Rebecca.
You're dating
Chances are
Hey, she's talking. She's
you may
got
be
the
in
last
it.
word here.
How much money do you want? What's your credit score?
Terrible.
Okay. My requirements is a 780 credit score.
I got news for you. I'm about 779 short of that.
Look,
so-
I want a lumberjack with a 780 credit score and $1 million in his bank account that treats me like a queen. And
I can make those Hungry Jack frozen meals. I don't know if that counts.
Ugh. I deserve the world.
You do, Rebecca. It is
I do.
Rebecca Ravera. How can people find out? Do you have a website? Where can people find out about your company?
Yeah. Give us a call, 443-844-1446, or you can go to shortsalequeen.com.
ShortSaleQueen.com. I love it.
Yes.
That is Rebecca Ravera. That is Alex Van Brooklyn. Michael Soper. I am Mickey Coachella. Thank you again
Thank you.
for watching Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Stuff. See you guys next week.